All right, welcome back. We are live here at Okayama International Circuit, the best 16, aka the top 16, Ryan, and we left the audience with the cliffhanger. Any big standout battles for you that you're excited to see?
Well, very excited to see the Yokoi and Takahashi, the Kuni battle on the right-hand side of the bracket, the latter part of the top 16. That should be really interesting. Gray and Tanaka is another, could be a final-type battle. Both drivers really strong there, so that should be pretty fun. And then this one as well. Kasahara, #1 qualifier, and Yamashita, who has his moments. So
yeah,
could see some fireworks here.
The way Kasahara has thrown his car, I mean, mind you, he had a bye on his first run, but the way Kasahara throws his car at the gap is really gonna, either throw some of the drivers off in the chase position, or they're gonna look sensational because they can chase them through the gap.
Right. Yeah, he certainly laid it out pretty well yesterday in qualifying, just besting the #2 qualifier with the higher second score, so he's obviously consistent, and he'll be facing Yamashita, who had a pretty interesting battle with Isano in the top 32, and they'll be our first battle up.
All right, two both high horsepower cars, but the build on that brand new work weld Mark II is absolutely stunning. Hashtag FD Japan, we are live here. You can see hashtag FDJPN or hashtag FD Japan, either or. But let everybody know you are watching, and we are live here with our first battle of top 16. Let's send it. Ryan, here we go. Kasahara out front. Yamashita giving chase in that first rear clipping zone, and there it is. Just well played in that first rear clipping zone into the second. That's that big angle. Look at him. Hold onto it, locked and loaded through the gap. Yamashita pulling through, back up the hill. And Kasahara swinging kind of wide around that final clip. Let's look at it again, Ryan.
Yeah, nice way to start off the top 16
sure.
with Kasahara coming out of the chicane. Yamashita sticking with him. Clean start here. Nice smooth initiation. A little bit of e-brake pull. A little bit longer than you like to see from Kasahara, but both drivers able to get deep into this zone. With Yamashita, the responsible driver, trying to chase down the lead, go where he goes. You can see a little bit deeper there as Kasahara into outer zone 2. Takes a mid-high line through outer zone 3. Yamashita sticking with him here, but Kasahara, pretty solid lead run, wrap around that last turn in the final inside clip. And now they'll mix it up. Kasahara will chase down Yamashita.
Kasahara, Sylvia runs deep, so deep, so deep.
He puts my JZX 100 to sleep.
Well played. So taking a look at it again, well played, and then into that final clip. I guess sorry, I digress. I said he wrapped wide around that final clip. He hit the clip, but then just swung it out naturally to the right.
You digress, or you want to clarify?
Clarify.
Okay. Just wanted to see.
Because I want to clarify. Because I said one.
You want to go back.
I want to go back.
You want to go back and rehash.
Yes. All right, so we are going to switch it up. The Mark II will be out front, Yamashita, and Kasahara will give chase. Any advantage in either side in your mind?
I would say slight advantage to Kasahara, just a little bit deeper in outer zone 2, and solid lead run overall, but real close so far.
All right, Yamashita out front. See what kind of initiation, straight line approach, just throwing it in. Already dancing with the track edge, Yamashita. Not getting all the way out there. Oh, look at that, and some mistake here. Kasahara getting blinded by the smoke. He's absolutely in the smoke trail. But now he hunts him down door to door in the gap. But Kasahara has to back off. He lunges back on the door of that Mark II, and look at this. Nice battle. Looked like Kasahara got out of shape, though. Take note of that first rear clipping zone, Ryan.
Yeah, that's definitely something to take a look at here. Kasahara better on the second half of the run. The first half, you can see both drivers using this e-brake initiation, holding it maybe a little bit longer than you'd like to see. We see some drivers not using it all, but watching in the chase position, you can see Kasahara gets lost in the smoke there, not able to get out to that zone, but Yamashita didn't necessarily have a better outer zone 1. And then you can see Kasahara surging forward after that point through outer zone 2 and 3 and really laying it down through that section of the course there. So will that make up for maybe a little bit of a problem? This should give us an idea. We'll see behind the smoke line here where Kasahara is going to lose a little bit of angle right there.
Yeah.
It's not.
You can't really tell from that angle, actually.
No, but you at least you know where it happens, because from where we can see it,
yeah.
we can see it a little bit better. But definitely much more aggressive in the chase position after that point. So
he did a great job chasing when he was on him, allowing him to transition right in front of him, but just really getting back on him immediately. That car's got a lot of horsepower on deck. You can see that Sylvia of Kasahara, you saw him back off and then just like back up on the door. Is the needle swaying either way in your mind, as you had it written out yesterday?
I could see Kasahara.
Yeah. Kasahara did make a mistake, but I liked his chase. He was aggressive, and his lead was definitely deeper. And if you looked at Yamashita, the way he initiated, he used all the course, but it came up a bit shy, and there it is. Kasahara gets 1 vote, and a 1 more time. Oh no, what's Lantain saying? There it is. Masaki Kasahara takes down Koichi Yamashita. So Kasahara advances on.
Yeah, he had a better lead. He had a more aggressive chase on the second half of the course, and the mistake that he made, I think, can be forgiven in light of those things.
Not forgiven, but taken into consideration, and that doesn't equate to taking out Yamashita.
Right.
It is forgiven, my son. I think he goes in confessional. Drift confessional. Forgive me, Father, for I haven't. Wouldn't they go into confessional?
Right. Forgive me, Father, I have not drifted today.
Yeah. Forgive him for his mistake.
Oh. Forgive me, Father, for I have straightened.
There you go. That's what we're going. We're simpatico right now. All right, Ben Williams, Kazuya Taguchi. Ben Williams threw it down hard in practice. Can he do it again? And he's going against that up garage. Sylvia Williams, big dirt drop. Past that front clip. But Taguchi not really involved here until the later portion of the track. But Williams out of the gate, he gets that big dirt drop. But I think that slowed him down and allowed Taguchi to gain some ground.
Well, watch Taguchi in the chase position here. He makes a pretty big mistake on initiation after Williams does his initiation. You can see, watch Taguchi in the chase position. Right there, falling back, straightening. Big mistake. Williams drops a tire or two there, but then gets back on it, and he's pretty good out front here. Taguchi trying to close the door, but Williams has been looking pretty consistent since qualifying yesterday. I know I talked to a couple of his teammates, and they were saying, hey, look, we're doing the best we can with the budget that we have, but he looks like a top-notch team out here this weekend.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I'm taking a look at the previous run, just for reference.
Yeah.
We're looking at the sin again. We're looking at the sin.
Yep.
Forgive me, Father, for I have straightened. It's buffering.
Okay, when this happens, this usually means there could be a freak out going on in the back.
Ceiling's getting pitted.
Yeah.
When the wave breaks here, don't be there. Nobody listens to Turtle. Nobody. Oh, we got a little AC/DC right now? All right, so the up garage, Sylvia S15 of Kazuya Taguchi will now be leading. And Ben Williams from Australia. Put another drift on the Bobby. That Kazama Soarer. Power vehicles. Back in black. Back in the black Soarer. Damn, Ben, back in black Soarer. All right, Kazuya. Coincidentally, I just Instagrammed a photo of his car. It's a great looking car. All right, Taguchi out front. Williams in chase. Big initiation here by the Sylvia. Big angle getting out there. Williams does the same. Williams, look how long he hung it on there. That wasn't necessary, but definitely looked cool. Looked really dramatic. Yeah, Williams right there out the door. Giving him the shadow treatment everywhere. The up garage Sylvia S15 wins of Kazuya Taguchi. Ryan just making claims right now, just writing down a name. But no, I mean, I think that's completely warranted.
Yes, I do too. It was a really strong performance by Williams in his lead run and in his chase run. Remember, Taguchi on his chase had a big problem right here. Williams does not. He's able to see through everything. No problem dealing with the smoke on outer zone 1. Comes through the cloud here. A little bit of separation, but he stays focused. Starts to close the door here as Taguchi stays deep into that second and third outer zone, but Williams is there, backing it up through the smoke line once again as Taguchi wraps around that last inside clip. But I think that mistake from Taguchi on initiation into outer zone 1, a little bit too much to overcome in my opinion, but we'll see what the judges have to say.
The Ham Fam in Texas is watching. Razorblade, Sharon Hamilton, how you doing? See Pat Gooden shouting you out there?
Yep. OMG Drift watching, saying, hey, can we ship this? Can we ship this over to the U.S. series? Oh, it was the nice opening show. Oh. They didn't get to see the whole thing.
And there it is, Ben Williams. Ben Williams gets the victory, taking out Kazuya Taguchi. Yeah, there was a bit of theatrics.
It was cool. It was some headbanging chicks.
Yeah, it was like J-pop chicks in skirts, like these like ballerina things. Where's it? Is it on yours? Is it on Ryan J. Sage?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
just a little bit on there.
Yeah. Yeah, it went full like, and then it went to rah rah. It went like Linkin Park. They changed it up.
I wonder if there are any groups like that in the U.S. that we could get, like that do something. I would like to have that at the event as opening ceremonies.
I don't know, man. I don't know about that.
All right, anybody out there knows anything,
moving on, Andrew Gray and Semi Tanaka. Andrew Gray has been on fire. Look at that thing just light up the tires in the straightaway. Smoking those Achilles. As Tanaka on Toyo tires chasing him down. Look at Andrew Gray with the white smoke just bellowing out of the back of that chaser. Man, Semi Tanaka, front row center.
Well, this would definitely be a big disappointment for Semi Tanaka if he were to lose here. He's certainly a top 5 caliber guy, and we've seen him do very, very well in events past. But Andrew Gray is on another level, defending Formula Drift Japan champion. You can see big initiation here, right to angle, gets right back on throttle. It's exactly what the judges want to see. And then wrapping through that first inside clip. Tanaka looking for an area to attack, but he comes off that second outer zone a bit early, then does not have the angle that Andrew Gray has coming through the power alley there, the third outer zone, then the final clip. So Tanaka has got his work cut out for him on run number 2. He can still battle back. You try to throw some really big angle in the car in order to show some difference between him and Andrew, but Andrew just too solid, too consistent out front, and really hard to match here. Can really
too hot
see
to handle, too cold to hold.
Can really see the difference in angle coming through that center section. So both drivers back to the line. Semi Tanaka will take the lead against Andrew Gray. Help.
That's Bill Murray and what about Bob? Or?
Oh, no, lost in translation.
That's it. That's right. Which is very fitting.
It is.
We're in Japan.
Yep. I actually, when I was on the elevator, there's an elevator in LAX. I just kind of like, I started laughing because I was thinking about that. It just says help.
And what we're referencing is the famous scene of Bill Murray on the elliptical, right? It's an elliptical rowing machine thing. Help! Help! Oh, that's funny. It's late on the West Coast, and it's even later on the East Coast. We're talking about the States. If you're joining us, thanks for staying up. 1:25 in the morning on the East Coast, 10:25 on the West Coast, and in local time, 2:25 in the afternoon. Here we go. Tanaka out front. Andrew Gray giving chase. Semi, big initiation. See, that's good modulation of that e-brake. You see him hitting it and quitting it. Big angle. Andrew Gray staying out of the smoke signal. That power vehicle's Achilles radial chaser. Semi Tanaka shooting the gap. Nice job. Andrew Gray, good consideration of distance. Oh, and Gray applying the pressure. Man, And we're only the top 16 kids.
Well, another solid example of a pretty good initiation here. Like you said, very minimal use of the e-brake, just a little bit there, but stays really, really deep with this angle. Gets back on throttle pretty quickly there. And what you like to see is as much fluidity from the time they initiate to getting back on throttle. I think Sammy could do it maybe a little bit better, but it was actually a lot better than what we've seen from a lot of other guys. Meanwhile, Andrew Gray, not affected, pretty much closed the door the entire way. Probably stayed a bit closer than Sammy did to him. And it looks like at least one judge going that direction too, and that's going to be all she wrote.
Andrew Gray gets the win. Andrew Gray advances on, as you said, our defending Formula Drift Japan champion. And that Power Vehicles Chaser moves on to the Grade 8. Ryan, we have our next battle on deck. And fortunately for Atsushi Taniguchi in that Tetsugen Chaser, I was talking to Forsberg during and look at that thing, man. That thing has seen better days, but hats off to his team for getting it back together. And I was talking to Forsberg. He has a video on his Insta story. He says they were beating his car with a sledgehammer. They were standing on it and hitting it like a foundry, like just absolutely beating on it. But fortunately for him, it's back together. We'll see, can it perform? It's going against Kazuya Iizuka in that final connection, JZX 100 Mark II. So Iizuka, who qualified 5th yesterday. Oh, and there it is, Tetsugen going off. I should say the Tetsugen Chaser. Iizuka continuing through the course. And he will have an obvious advantage.
Uh-oh, he's stuck. Help me. Help. Help. Oh, there you go. Well, valiant effort here for Taniguchi, all things considered, but unfortunately overcooks it into the first corner. I'm sure the vehicle condition had something to do with it, and Iizuka just needed to finish the run at that point. There you go. There's him going off course. Help. Oh, now he's putting rocks everywhere.
Go ahead and litter. So as we see Iizuka, oh man, that thing just ain't right now. As we're seeing Taniguchi pull off course. Well, he pulled on course, brought some rocks with him.
Height.
Are we going to see a competition timeout? Okay, no. Looks like I'm seeing Iizuka. Iizuka there in the back. We're already almost halfway through once we complete this battle. And right now, Iizuka. Ryan, I enjoyed watching you and Alexi announce at Ebisu.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember when I texted you that you need to stop clicking your pen.
Yeah.
But stop clicking your pen.
That's my nervous tick.
One of many.
Yeah.
Harambe? The final connection, JZX 100 of Kazuya Iizuka. You can see Kaguchi's 86, his Toyota 86 in the background there. There's the Tetsugen Chaser. Forsberg right there in that Mark II, and then also entering Mark II. He's going to be going against Hayashi, who's number 2 qualifier.
Big Kev taking a look at it.
Big Kev making sure he's beating all the other Pokemon battlers up and taking the gyms. I don't know what. Yeah. Yeah, Kevin's Kevin's just throwing down. He's dropping the gauntlet here at Okayama.
I knew it was real when he left the lounge earlier than I did, and I'm walking through the airport to get to the gate, and I see him he's like 3 feet away from a wall next to a check-in counter. And I'm like, what is going on? And I see him doing the push thing. Yeah. I didn't say anything to him, but I recorded him all the way because I wanted to have it.
Yeah. Yeah, that goes in the evidence file.
Yeah.
Of how crazy people are.
Yeah, it's insane, pretty insane.
Well, congratulations, Kevin. He currently is a proud owner of a gym here at Okayama International Circuit. Clean up there on our outside clipping zone 1. Getting out the official FIA Okayama International Circuit brooms. I think they're FIA certified.
Yep. Certified by the Wicked Witch of the East.
The Far East. Wicked Witch of the Far East. It's a hot one, man. It's burning up. My legs are getting roasted.
Yep.
But just imagine the guys in the car got their race suits on.
Have the ladies that clean your room, have they been turning your air conditioning more hot?
Yeah, they like to do that. My room, my door was wide open. I came back, the room was wide open. Nothing was missing, fortunately. Andy. So, Ryan, what do you think of having Robin Shida be a judge? You know, he's been judging the previous rounds, but you know, he's a driver, or most recently drove this year, even in the States.
Yeah, it's really cool having Robbie. I mean, he's a great communicator and speaks both languages. I mean, just like his own native tongue. So it's really cool from that perspective. And also, you know, when we go on these trips and when we're together in general, we're always talking about drifting. We're always talking about how we can make things better, if you want to use that word, or how to interpret things, or what we should be pushing for. And having Robbie's voice in it has been interesting because he can share from a different perspective, but he also gets to kind of see what we talk about. And he, you know, he's commented quite a few times on the trip, like, "Well, you guys really talk about drifting a lot."
Right. It gets pretty incessant. So all of a sudden, looks like a Beastie Boys video shoot broke out here on track. I wish they could see this. Right? Looks like a Beastie Boys video shoot.
Yep.
Intergalactic planetary.
It would be cool if we could tell them to, you know, cut to that shot. But
there it is.
There
it is. Look, it's a Beastie Boys video shoot in the making right now. Struggle's real. Sometimes you get hurt. You got to wear a helmet when you broom. Just never know. A whistle while we work. Thank you for your patience. Clean up here as the Tetsugen chaser, when he went into the kitty litter, he got it back out, but then he drugged some rocks and some of the small pebbles across the track. So, again, thank you for your patience. Izuka. Vaughn Gittin Jr. watching at home. We are halfway through. Once this battle is completed, we'll go to the other side of the bracket where we see Kazuki Hiyashi going against Chris Forsberg. He is next. Then Kenji Yamanaka against Kaguchi, the 86 and iconic name of the world. Mad Mike Wadette and Okoya Saito. And last but not least, Masashi Okoi versus simply known as Kuni. He's like Prince. He's like Elvis. Just one word. Cooney. The coon. Vaughn asked if we were drunk. No, we're not. We're drunk on life, and these events are really casual. The driving is dynamic. It's fun. I think that we have a level of zaniness that comes out of us.
It's a different type of vibe, just doing it to live stream as opposed to live and live stream.
Right.
And I think it's not that you can get away with more, but you feel more free.
It's a little more
you feel
casual.
a bit more free.
Right. All right, looks like the Lemmings have left the track, or they're just about to, at the sweeper. Iizuka on the start line. Taniguchi, he will lead. This should be interesting. It's going to be difficult for Iizuka to give chase. What do we got here? Somebody chiming in with some.
Now somebody just sent me a photo of. Lantane put a photo of Arito. Basically, he's been sleeping in his chair all day, essentially.
Max getting Arito'd out.
And Kevin says, "Can I be a commentator?" I think he's talking about Arito.
Right. Ken Gooshi chiming in. The Goosh. The Goosh was cackling and sending me texts at 4 a.m. He was awake looking at Snapchat. Yeah, it's cool. I like all the U.S. drivers tuning in and watching and seeing the caliber of driving, seeing what's going on by comparison, you know, and just overall the builds and the aesthetics. Because obviously this is the origin of drifting, and you know, Brian Sage and Jim Lau, you know, you guys bringing drifting to the U.S. Here we go. All right, Iizuka, Taniguchi. That's what I was talking about. You know, is Iizuka giving himself some room? Because we just saw him go off in the kitty litter, and Taniguchi straightens out, but Iizuka, yeah, shuts it down. And at this point, Iizuka, you know, he doesn't need to drift the rest of the course. He was really thrown off, but man, unfortunate for Atsushi Taniguchi in that chaser. He took that hard hit, and that just affected.
Yeah, if you missed the top 32, he had some contact with another driver that was not his fault, ended up damaging his rear suspension, and he made a pass through the inside clip number 1 and actually really got out of whack, went into the wall hard. He'd been working throughout the break to try to fix the vehicle, but obviously from what you can see in run number 1 and here as well, it's not 100%. So tough day for him. Good effort, but Iizuka will be moving on into the grade 8 to face Andrew Gray.
Pat Gooden chiming in. How we doing? Passionate Pat. Say what's up to Donna for me. Kazuya Iizuka. Iizuka. Right?
Iizuka.
Lethal. Whew. My goodness. The wind and the heat creating a force of nature. Stings the nostrils. Oh my goodness. Call you Black Panther, Ryan. All right, next up, we are halfway through our top 16. Speaking of Black Panther, there is the black Mark II of the Force, Chris Forsberg. He'll be chasing down our number 2 qualifier. This should be, I mean, you know, talking to Chris, he says, you know, his expectations have been met. Anything after this is truly icing on the cake. But you know what?
Oh, there we go.
Knocking up. Yeah, we're seeing a red flag. Pump the brakes there. Pump the brakes, homeboy.
Ooh.
Yeah, okay, easy. Easy. No, Chris. Yeah, okay, we're good. All right, so did he knock over a cone? I saw something come up.
Hayashi took a cone out, on the chicane.
There he is, the masked man.
They are really good about the flags around
they're
here.
on it. They are on it. Well, I saw red flag behind the start line and then red flag in the box, and they shut it down.
Yeah, if you're just joining us, the Chris Forsberg story has been continuing to develop throughout the weekend. Basically, you know, he's doing very well in the overall championship. He had not done a world event up until this point this year, so you just need to compete in one Japan round. That is a world event, so that would either be Ebisu or this round in order to qualify for the World Championship. So now Chris is qualified. He achieved that yesterday in qualifying by making a pass. That would have got him 1 point even if he didn't qualify. So qualified 18th, I believe, and now fighting for extra points to add into his championship, both championship potentials. And so he's right now will basically be taking over first place in the World Championship with Matt Field in second, Mad Mike in third. Mad Mike will jump to second after this event, depending on how he finishes. And it really puts Chris in a very advantageous position because he would need to do extremely poorly the next 2 rounds in order for Field to make up ground on him in the World Championship side of things.
Big Cave locking it in. Looks like Hayashi, a little apology here. What's going on? As Forsberg on the start line. Big Kev, a.k.a. Kevin Roush, down there with his hat, his lid. Strike one. Strike one on Hayashi. The ref,
yeah,
the ump.
It's Justin Pollock's dad's hat.
Justin Pollock's dad's hat. That's really dope that he loaned it to him. Strike one. All right, thumbs up. Here we go. Stepping the pedal to the metal.
Hey, I know it would be fun. Okay, here we go.
All right, here we go. Kazuki Hayashi. And Chris the Force Forsberg. Here we go.
Whoa.
Using the whole course there. Hayashi and Forsberg come into that first rear clipping zone. Hayashi drops it in. Forsberg, little shallower angle than Hayashi. Bringing it into the gap. Hayashi powers through. And Forsberg kind of shortening it up. Gain that proximity. Hayashi strong out front. You know, we don't have those lines where you impede. It seemed like Chris was kind of getting into his business and then shook it off.
Well, you know, Chris obviously is going to be weighed down on power relative to Hayashi. That is a rental car from Daigo Saito. You can see here, Chris getting there, right next to him. Hayashi initiates, gets back on it, reaches real deep into this first outer zone. Chris hanging in there so far. Nice and tight on that inside clip is Hayashi. Then really good job on that second outer zone and decent on that third outer zone. Chris coming through here, trying to do everything he can with that vehicle. As Hayashi wraps around that last inside clip. Good fight by Chris. He'll have an opportunity to head to the lead now as we take a look at the long shot. You can see there from initiation, right when Hayashi gets back on throttle there in outer zone number 1. Chris trying to close the door here without sacrificing too much line. And then through the center section, the final turn here, wrapping around, going uphill. Hayashi and Forsberg close out run number 1.
Shout out to, what do we got? Got Danger Dan.
Hey, what color are those shirts?
They're gray and blue. And also shout out to Swan and Greg watching Atlanta. A lot of fans enduring the late nights, tuning in. What was going to be fun about Big Kev's hat back there?
No, I was going to just ask the audience, can you settle this fight for us? Are the jerseys gray or are they blue?
The uniforms. Talking about that FD uniform right there. I'm wearing the US spec one, but those are the J spec ones, and it's a
very, very bitter battle.
Yeah.
About whether or not they're gray or blue.
It's a butter battle.
Bitter
butter. All right, here we go. Chris Forsberg out front. Hayashi giving chase. Forsberg flicking it in.
Hayashi
big angle for Forsberg. Hayashi, yeah, way down on angle. Forsberg navigating past that front clip. Hayashi now diving in door to door. Forsberg powering through the gap. Hayashi a lot cleaner towards the latter portion of the track. Were you going to write a name? Do you think?
I was going to even maybe do it one more time because I think Hayashi kind of got a little bit ripped on the first part of the.
But if you know, the judges have been dissecting from outside zone 1 to outside zone 3. Let's look at it again.
Here you go, Chris right there initiates pretty decent. You can see Hayashi struggling a little bit to get going there. You can see lacking the
needle
angle
towards Forsberg.
And then Hayashi gets back on it. Now this is where he does much better here, closing the door, but he takes a little bit of a tighter line, so he's sacrificing the line to gain proximity. You can see lacking a little bit of angle there. You know, so it's a solid lead run for Chris. It's a good lead run for Hayashi. And then it really is going to come down to the comparison between both chase runs. What say you, Jared Dienda?
What say you? Yeah, I mean, I'm leaning towards a one more time as well. I think both of them had mistakes. I think that would equate to an even one more time. The soundtrack is just all American here, which is cool.
Yeah, they're really giving back.
All right, here we go. Hayashi and Forsberg does it one more time from Andy Yan. Robin Shida, one more time. There it is. And is it unanimous? It is. Uno más tiempo. Chris Forsberg, Hiyashi. Yeah. Unamas. So it looks like we looked under our crystal ball and came up one more time.
It's kind of nice to be able to say that without having to worry about the live audience, not the live stream audience, but at home when we do this, what we think, sometimes you really can't put it out there because people will say, oh, you're influencing the judges, whereas we're completely closed off from them. They don't even know what we're saying.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of neat.
It's neat. It's neat. It just sounds funny. You know, you're a real wordsmith. The word neat doesn't seem like it comes out of your mouth.
Well, you know, that's the fun part.
That's neat.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Kenji Yamanaka, Yoshihiro Koguchi. Yamanaka throws down that Tomei-powered Mark II, and that GT86 is running the EJ engine under the hood. Nice job by Yamanaka, tight to that front clip, dialing in. Whoa, Koguchi! Just sliding up to the door. Sliding up in your DMs like Koguchi. Nice job by Yamanaka.
Yeah, Yamanaka seems to be continually getting better and better run by run. It was probably the best approach to inside clip one I've seen. Yeah. He does touch it a little bit, but most of the guys are sticking back a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit. You can see Koguchi not very solid in the chase position, having a couple little minor wavering, one after initiation, one right there in the zone, and then super close on that inside clip is Yamanaka. Pretty consistent here. You can see Koguchi again pulling a little bit of angle out of the vehicle. So far, so good for Kenji Yamanaka.
It seems like Koguchi was going for it. He's going for the gusto, and then got close, and then had to straighten out because he got scared, got a little nervous. So look at it again from this angle. Look at that. I mean, this is a fast track, ladies and gentlemen. It's fun. I'd love to see, see right there. He gets close. Oh, like had to back off, drops the speed, straightened out. Yamanaka continues through.
Yeah, I mean, he's got plenty of opportunity to make it up here with the solid lead run and hoping that Kenji makes similar or more mistakes, but definitely not the best chase run that we've seen from him so far this weekend.
Not the prettiest.
Not the prettiest.
Help. What's your favorite movie, Ryan?
Oof. I don't really like to go with favorites. I like,
What do you enjoy?
In the areas of, I like genres, maybe,
okay. All right, rom-com, romantic comedy, go. Kidding. Totally kidding. Favorite motorsports movie?
Whew.
It's a tough one, huh?
That is tough.
Would you say Rush, or would you say Senna?
Senna's really, really good.
Yeah.
Really good. I mean, Days of Thunder is always kind of fun, on a Sunday afternoon.
Yep. All right, so we are seeing him back at the start line. Koguchi will now lead in that 86, Drew P. And Kenji Yamanaka, Tomei-powered chaser. Excuse me, Tomei-powered Mark II. All right, Koguchi out front. Yamanaka giving chase. What do we got? Boom, Koguchi throws it in. Yamanaka is going to have to gain some ground here. Is this strategy? It's going to work out. Is it going to pay off? Koguchi transitions through. Shallow angle from Yamanaka in that chase position. Gains the proximity. Would like to see Yamanaka closer. Is that enough, Ryan?
Yamanaka's lead was better than Koguchi's lead. I think it maybe could be enough, but it wasn't a very impressive chase by Yamanaka. I think he gave him a little bit too much room out of the gate here and wasn't able to really close the door. You can see that Koguchi is cutting the course a little bit short here. Doesn't go deep into outer zone 1. Better job on inside clip 1. Not as deep as we've seen guys go into outer zone 2, and he's on kind of a mid-high line through outer zone 3. So he's driving a faster section of the course. Yamanaka towards the end starts to reel him in, but I think the judges will keep that into account. We might see one more time or two, but I have a feeling it's going to go.
Yeah, I think it's going to slide to Yamanaka. And there it is. Kenji Yamanaka gets the victory. It's great to see him do well. I know he was going to have an effort a couple of years ago, or it was supposed to be this year in Pro 2, and then just, hasn't seen the U.S. soil in a while, but it's good to see him out here do well.
Indeed.
So we're still going to see the other battle, that is Chris Forsberg and Kazuki Hiyashi. But first, Saito and Wadette. Koyo Saito, JZX 100 Modi's Chaser, and Mad Mike Wadette in the Hum Bowl. The Hummus Bowl. It's called the Hummus Bowl, that's what it is. He eats hummus. Happy birthday to Tony Cook. It's his lady's birthday. Happy birthday, Tony. We love you. And Koyo Saito is about to throw down with this FDRX7. Remember, Mad Mike Wadette coming off that victory at Ebisu. Mad Mike, nice. Throwing it in. Whoa, Saito! Comes in hot, but then has to back down. Mad Mike Wadette stays in it. Big angle. Whoa! Mad Mike Wadette, does he break himself off?
Oh no.
These guys firing off. So Saito comes at him, has to back down, and then Mad Mike, I gotta say it, not the prettiest as far as when he transitioned and almost bulked up.
Well, let's take a look at this again. Mad Mike has been trying to perfect that initiation all weekend long. Really good job there. Stays off the e-brake for the most part, but then comes real tight here. You can see Saito gets a bit out of whack as Mike goes deep into that first outer zone, and then Mike almost loses it here. Big angle on the transition from outer zone 2 to outer zone 3. It'll be a mistake, but certainly pushing the limits there is Mad Mike, as Saito trying to find an opportunity to catch back up, but Mike just too far ahead at that point.
I know Mike had some electrical gremlins yesterday. He said he went to go, took a lap. Oh, cool, it's working, and then boom, had no power steering, and then car's overheating. Boom, water pump out. Like all these electrical gremlins, and then boom, qualifying, good to go. Did another gremlin show up? We'll see.
Gremlins, that's a movie that I like.
Gremlins?
Yeah. Tell him refresh.
Michelle Forsberg watching at home. How we doing, Mitch? So we take a look at it again. Mad Mike Wadette pulling away. Whew, Ryan, you got a nice seat there, bud. Can I scoot a little closer to you?
Yeah, it's a little warm, huh? I'm blasted.
I'm getting smoked over here. It is a hot one. All right, so we are seeing Mad Mike Wadette. They're on the start line. What do we got there? All right, thumbs up. Here we go. The second half of this battle. Is Mad Mike gonna advance, or is Saito gonna take him down? And here we go. Saito out front in that Modi's Chaser. Mad Mike Wadette in the Humble. Wow, look at that, straight to angle. Saito dropping into that rear clipping zone. Mad Mike Wadette right there. Good transition. Great lead run from Saito, allowing Mike to chase him down. Mike Wadette tucking into the pocket in the smoke signal. Shots fired. Mad Mike Wadette is on a tear. Brian Sage claiming just putting the double M's on the bracket.
Well, really the only
the
only issue that he had was on that mistake that he made into outer zone number 3. But for the most part, Mike looked really solid on both runs. You can see here, still throws big angle into the car as Saito goes deep into that zone. But Mike eyeing him up, attacking all the way, staying with him. Nice mimic right there as Saito pulls off outer zone 2 a little bit earlier. Mike adjusts, he stays with him into this last final clip. Through the smoke line on the last inside clip towards the finish line, and solid pressure all the way through.
Seems the the screen keeps freezing up there. Apologize if there's any inconvenience.
Of course it's inconvenient.
Help. So awaiting the verdict from the judges. Excuse me. Mad Mike Odette, Saito. Taking a look at it again. Big angle here. That's where
that was the big.
Saw
That
Mike
was a
out
mistaken
front,
one. You know, it'll make his team a little bit nervous, I think, but
then backs it up with just a solid chase job.
Yep.
All right, so you can see Mad Mike right here. Wow! I want to do my Japanese announcer impersonation.
We'll ask Andy Yen how bad was Mike's mistake overall? That was bad, but everything else was pretty awesome. Okay. So here we go.
All right, Saito, Mad Mike Odette. Wow, one more time from Andy Yen. Robin Ishida says one more time. So some mistakes by Mad Mike. I don't know if the fans heard, but Andy Yen saying on initiation.
Yes, he said he'd made two big mistakes to kind of offset the great qualities of the other aspects of his run, and I could, obviously they're all unanimous, so I can see where they're coming from. Got to make it clear.
Make it really clear, make it concise, and I'm sure, you know, Mad Mike would like to tighten up his run as well, and, you know, that big mistake right here in front of the judges. So, one more time from Mad Mike and Saito. Revisiting the one more time of Chris Forsberg and Kazuki Hiyashi. Hiyashi, number 2 qualifier. Chris Forsberg qualifying 18th. He took down Fukada, Tadahiro Fukada earlier, and Hiyashi had to go through Ken Nomura after a one more time battle. Here we go. Hiyashi and Forsberg. Hiyashi out front. Hiyashi initiates into that first rear clipping zone. Forsberg not as big an angle, but now gains that proximity. Nice job. Hiyashi now falls out of angle. Hiyashi tights that front clip into the gap. Forsberg, quite a bit of distance here, chasing down Hiyashi.
Well, this is a much better lead run for Hayashi this time around, making it a little bit more apparent in trying to give himself an advantage. Comes out through the chicane, down this long run up. Pretty decent initiation there. Forsberg lacking the angle out of outer zone 1. He's been talking about, you know, the challenges of stepping into a right-hand drive vehicle and an underpowered vehicle and coming out here and doing the best that he can against these top-notch, high-caliber drivers that make their way from many parts of Japan. Here he gets from the long view. You can see here, Hayashi back on throttle pretty early there, so nice job. Comes out of the first outer zone into the second outer zone with good angle. Chris about 3-4 car lengths back at this point, so now they'll mix it up. Forsberg goes to the lead, Hayashi to the chase position. And then
when I go to Japan, I like to eat ramen. Shout out to the Wolf, the Daggers.
Yeah, the Dags. They're probably...
He's tranced out right now.
Yeah, they are tranced out because our team is getting ready for Motovicity tomorrow.
Ah. Talking about the
speed ring.
Speed ring.
That's where the other Taniguchi is. The Taniguchi that's usually here, he's there.
Yeah, Knob is over there.
Yeah.
No one better.
Knobbed out.
Knob's gonna throw down in Fontana.
Yeah.
Yep, just can't duplicate ourselves sometimes, kids. Here we go, Forsberg and Hiyashi. Forsberg out front. NOS energy drink, Mark II. Hiyashi in the D-Max Sylvia S15. Send it. Forsberg out front. Hiyashi. Nice initiation by both of them. Forsberg throwing some more angle at it. Hiyashi chasing him down. Forsberg gets out of the rumble strip. Hiyashi, not as big an angle as Forsberg then, just as silly does. Forsberg drops it into the gap, filling that third rear clipping zone. Coming back up the hill. Hiyashi chasing him down.
So here we go, Chris Forsberg in the lead position. What could possibly be the last lap of the day for him if Hiyashi moves forward here. Hiyashi again kind of struggling with keeping the similarities in play on that first outer zone to Chris, but does a much better job here following Forsberg to that second and third outer zone. You can see he's a bit closer relative to the last run when Forsberg was chasing. That may give him the edge here overall. Here it is from the long view, Jared. You can see Hiyashi, both runs with Chris, he's had a little bit of a trouble in the chase position there. You can see just doesn't have the angle, doesn't get as deep into that zone. But after the second outer zone and into the third outer zone, he does close the door a little bit here on Chris. And that'll wrap it up the one more time.
So the one more time here of Forsberg and Hiyashi. Waiting for the verdict, and here it is. And Hiyashi gets the win unanimously. Chris Forsberg's effort this weekend has come to a halt, but as he said during our break, he was stoked. He's happy to show up. He's happy to qualify. You know, we didn't have just 32 cars. We had 48. So for him, it was icing after this point. And I think him even go one more time proved that, hey, you know, if his car was left-hand drive, he said he probably would have fared better.
Hey, well, you know, these Japanese drivers are not following the script.
And Chris Forsberg gets the win. Joking. Kazuki Hiyashi gets the victory. He'll be going against Kenji Yamanaka. And we still have Mad Mike, Wadette, and Saito to go, but let's go ahead and advance on. You can see Mad Mike waiting in the wings, or waiting in the winged FD RX-7 Humble. But right now, Masashi Yokoi and Kuni, and that's a flag. Flag up, cars down. That's the way we like to get down. So the red flag is out. Strike one. Ryan spoken. That's more like share Eddie Vedder.
Yeah, that was.
It was like share Vedder.
I was trying to think what. Sure. No.
Yeah. I was gonna say what is Lerv, but that's Celine Dion.
No, but
Lerv.
It's the Do You Believe in Life After Love one.
What?
Do you believe? It's that one.
Do you believe in life after love? And that was Cher Dion. That was Celine Dion Cher mix. I can see why people think we're drunk right now. What's your strike? So if you're an umpire, somebody throws a ball right down the middle, how do you do strike? Strike?
I would either do like a hurt or like a ha.
Don't get the hurt. All right, well, strike one there, but now we got a full pull here. What do we got? Masashi Yokoi coming into that outside zone, filling it up, dropping some dirt, or dropping the tire in the dirt, better yet, throwing it up as Kuni. The Coon drops it in. Wow! I'm doing my Japanese announcer impersonation right there, and it's completely warranted as Kuni.
I think what you wanted to say was, oh, doctor.
No, I embraced the wah! Kunyaki Takashi! Right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I did.
So here we go. Run number one with Masashi Yokoi in the books here. Nice job by Yokoi. You can see very little use of the e-brake there. Just gets right to angle, right back on throttle. You can see Kuni falls off. He's not able to follow Yokoi into that first inside clip, but then closes the door right here. Goes a little bit long, falls off for a second, but nice aggressive move by Kuni. Solid lead run by Yokoi. Good battle on hand overall between these two drivers.
Yeah, that was sick. I like Yokoi's entry. You see this Kuni's like, it seems like he got phased. He's like, what is happening? And then, unfortunately, Yokoi drops a tire, but Kuni just dives in with his Mark X. Look at that. Wow, right there. Has to back off and pours it back on. The needle swing either way for Kuni or Yokoi?
I think it's slightly in Yokoi's.
Yeah. That entry was sick.
He didn't make any mistakes.
Yeah. Oh, he had the dirt drop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Forgive me, Father, for I have dropped tire. That was kind of ill right there. Forgive me, Father, for I dropped a tire. I might sin to spin and win, and then when I do, I go against Kuni. Mark X.
You had the perfect opportunity to bring in Liar there. Because you had tire.
Yeah.
You could have brought in Liar.
Spit hot fire like a lion. Dylon. So, Kuni will lead. Masashi Yokoi will give chase. The chrome nose. Beautiful looking Mark X. Kunyaki Takahashi, the Kun. Throws it in. Yokoi right there. Look at Yokoi. Getting close. Kuni just slowly taking out to the outside zone. Tight past that front clip. What's Yokoi gonna do? Bad boys. What's Yokoi gonna do? Closes the door. Nice job. Masashi Yokoi brings it around and tightens it up to Kuni's Mark X door.
Well, here we go. Kuni in the lead. Masashi Yokoi in the chase position here. Nice initiation there by Takahashi. Big angle as Yokoi stays with him, but he does not go as deep into that first outer zone as Kuni. Kuni, perfect job on outer zone 2, pretty deep into outer zone 3, but you can see Yokoi locked on that rear bumper. Nice job there as they finish it off with pressure from Yokoi towards the end.
That's really cool. Well played.
You can see that's that one mistake that Yokoi makes in the chase.
Yeah.
Obviously, so much of this is the importance on initiation into outer zone 1. See, very few guys actually get it perfect, but Yokoi is able to, on the second half of the run, really kind of tighten it up there, put some pressure on Kuni. Close battle here.
All right, so what do we got? Waiting for this verdict. Remember, Mad Mike Wadette, Nakuyo Saito. All right, slide him right for Masashi Yokoi. Masashi Yokoi gets the victory, and he is in the Great 8. Masashi Yokoi advances on to the Great 8. Congratulations to Yokoi. He's going against one of these gentlemen. Are we going to see another Wadette Yokoi battle? We saw him in the finals in Ebisu, or is it going to be Yokoi versus Saito? About to find out. Mad Mike Wadette getting. Big Kev calling the shots. Big Kev. Lights are on. Drifted to win it. Long getting juniors over to Europe right now. All right, here we go. Mad Mike Wadette, Saito giving chase. Mad Mike qualifying number 3 yesterday. Big angle there. Locks it in. Past the front clip. Saito struggling. Whoa, Mad Mike. Almost getting out of shape, but drags it along the wall. Mad Mike Wadette. That got a little hairball there. Wow, Mad Mike Wadette. He got into the dirt on that second rear clipping zone, and it looked like he was going to be heading towards that wall.
Bit more conservative on initiation this time around from Mad Mike Wadette, maybe looking at his first run, seeing if he can change things up there. Usually he goes for a really big rate to angle, real quick rate to angle on initiation. This time a little bit more conservative, but right here you can see he gets a little bit hot coming out of outer zone 2, nearly goes into the wall on outer zone 3, but tremendous job there saving it and making it look good. Saito, meanwhile, pretty much playing catch-up throughout the entire run, just not really a factor there in the chase position. As we take a look at the long view here, you can see Saito tries to stay with him on initiation, then Mad Mike off like a rocket, but he still hits the inside clip, goes deep into outer zone 2, super deep into outer zone 3, so he's not running away by taking a shallower line. He's just really quick through the course.
Yeah, Saito just could not find the combination to get him close to Mad Mike Wadette. This is our final battle of the top 16. Our grade 8 is shaping up. 7 drivers are already in. Masaki Kasahara is going against Ben Williams. Andrew Gray against Izuka. Then we have Kazuki Hayashi against Kenji Yamanaka. And either one of these drivers going against Masashi Yokoi. Ryan, we got Texas our next round. Irwindale, three I would say mathematical contenders. Vaughn Gittin Jr., Frederick Osbo, Chris Forsberg for the domestic championship, Formula Drift Championship, and the World Championship still up for grabs. But as you said, woo, it's a hot one. Here we go. Saito out front. Whoa.
Uh-oh.
Mad Mike Wadette getting wild here, living up to his name. Looks like something came off the car. Didn't know if it was rubber when he initiated. Transitioning now. Oh! And a big straightening there by Mad Mike Wadette. Mad Mike now back, applying pressure. Oh, no, Mike, way off course.
Oh, man.
Struggling, firing off.
Shoot, man.
A fireworks show. Wow.
Well, it started at initiation, so let's see if we can decipher anything here. Mike may have wound back the advantage that he had after that first run with this chase run here. He's going to initiate something that just doesn't look. It looked like something, yeah, innocuous, but innocuous rather. As he transitions here, he's gonna come out of angle, kind of straighten out a little bit, and then again as we go through the third outer zone, his transition here, something else fell off the car there too. That's really weird. So
yeah.
Tough break for Mad Mike. Let's take a look at it from the long view. There's the first thing that falls off.
What are you laughing at?
I don't know. It's just wires. So many things falling off his car. There's the straight. Let's see if we can see what falls off his car here. It's going to be right around here.
When he transitions, boom, right there.
That just looked like rubber maybe, but
yeah.
And then he goes up off. So, Saito not really attacking on the first run, and Mad Mike's 2 mistakes. Is that enough for one more time, or the mistake's too big?
Or just straight up,
yo,
Saito. Yo, you're done. We're waiting for the judges. Saito, Wadette. As you said, it was very uncharacteristic. We didn't see any line like that from him, and he got thrown off chasing down Saito. Not once, but twice.
Well, here it is again, for what it's worth. Judge is taking a look at it. You can see Mike just not really all there. And then right there, big correction. Gets back on it, still fighting. Looking good in the chase here. And then on the transition back, it just looks like he kind of mistimed it there.
I think his timing was off from the beginning, and that's where, you go into muscle memory mode and you're chasing him down. You kind of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like dancing. And Saito did go off, did drop a tire. I think that really threw him off. That threw Mad Mike off.
Oh, comes the sun again.
Oof. Here comes the sun. All right, Mad Mike Wadette, Koyo Saito, and Mad Mike Wadette. Oh, look at this, 1 and 1, and Lantain says Akoya Saito gets the win. So Andy Yen saying Mad Mike Wadette, but Robin Ishida and Ryan Lantain 2-1. Saito takes down Mad Mike Wadette. Welcome back. The Great 8 is upon us. Formula Drift Japan, Okayama International Circuit. Jared Dienda, Ryan Sage, we are live. Local time, 3:24, local temperature, 1,000,000 degrees. It's pretty hot out here. And inside the car, I can only imagine what's going on out there. Ben Williams, an impressive driver that we saw Ben Williams take down Taguchi, as well as, unfortunately, Yingxing Yen never was able to run. But Ben Williams. So here we go. Kasahara, Ben Williams. Now, Kasahara, our #1 qualifier, Ben Williams. Striking fast, but then backing down. Kasahara filling that rear clipping zone. Williams transitioning past that front clip. Kasahara shooting the gap. Williams trying to close the gap. And Kasahara brings it around that final clip. Ryan, take a look at it again.
Let's do that.
Yeah, you want to do it?
Let's take a look at it again, okay. Jared. So here we go, Kasahara, your #1 qualifier, and Ben Williams slowly but surely making his case here this weekend. Pretty long e-brake pull from Kasahara there. One of the guys still opting for that. You can see Ben falling back a little bit here. Kasahara nice and tight on that inside clip. Really known for throwing deep angle from outer zone 2 to outer zone 3. Doesn't get all the way in, out to outer zone 3 as much as you like. Allows Ben to close the door a little bit here. Final turn as both drivers head back down to the start line. Now Ben will take the lead against Kasahara as we take a look at the long view here. You can see diving in, looking for that attack. Pays a bit of a price for doing that is Ben. And Kasahara overall, a pretty solid lead run, just a few minor mistakes, not very deep in outer zone 3, and a bit longer of an e-brake pull than you'd like to see on initiation. Ben diving in on the attack and paying a little bit of a price, as I said, for it. But now they'll mix it up. Ben Williams to the lead, Kasahara to chase him down.
Yeah, I think. Okay, sorry. I think Williams is a real contender here today. But he's going against our #1 qualifier, Kasahara, and Kasahara's been on it. We've seen the power that he has on deck, and basically him surging and really hunting down his competitors. Yeah, every time you say look at the long view, I think of Green Day.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it's a song. Like, it's basically, you know, it's one of the most
Another boy. That one?
No, different one. It's the one I say, and listen to me, that one. All right, here we go. Williams, big angle, comes in. Kasahara needs to strike. Williams getting into the dirt. Now Kasahara getting close. Tightens it back up. Second rear clipping zone. Into the hole in the fence. Nice job by Williams. Kasahara. And look at that. I really like the way he executes around that final transition. Kasahara applying the pressure. Let's look at it again here, Ryan.
Well, here we go. Run number 2. Ben Williams in the lead this time. Kasahara going to chase him down. This big, long run up here. Decent initiation right there by Ben. Kasahara giving him a little bit of room here as Ben just goes slightly long on that outer zone. Kasahara trying to make his move in front of the judges stand here as they pass through outer zone number 2. Tiny bit shallower there in the chase. Through outer zone 3 was Kasahara, but really close on proximity coming through the last inside clip. So a good battle here between these two guys.
There's the lyrics, you know that. Bite my lip and close my eyes.
Oh yeah.
Take me away. Yeah.
Why do you think that's important?
Because you referenced the long view camera.
I know, but you said it's important to you. The song.
Oh, it's not important. It's one of the most important Green Day songs, and like really kicked off their popular culture careers. And they were known in Berkeley, California for being punk rock, but that took them to stardom.
To new heights,
yeah,
as they would say.
Mm-hmm. All right, Williams, slide him left for Williams, slide him right for Kasahara, and Kasahara takes down Ben Williams. It was a good effort, but Kasahara just again, that 20-year-old assassin, man. He is a killer. Kasahara.
Guess what?
What's that?
Guaranteed podium for him.
Ah. Masaki Kasahara is guaranteed a podium with being our #1 qualifier. Numero uno. Ichiban. Un. Any other language? What do you got? Any other language? You know?
For what?
I just said numero uno, Ichiban.
Un?
Un is French.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I'll
take that as a no. All right, moving on.
That was sign language. You didn't see what I was doing? You weren't paying attention.
Yeah, I didn't see it. Fans couldn't hear it at home. Andrew Gray and Kazuya Iizuka. Gray out front. Iizuka.
Dang.
My goodness, that car is just lighting him up. Lit, fam. As Gray drops into that rear clipping zone. Iizuka. Oh, look at that. Good transition from him. Allowing Andrew Gray to transition in front of him. Oh, and Iizuka, big mistake as he shoots the gap. Gray heads back up and rounds out that final clipping point. And Andrew Gray, an obvious advantage. Iizuka may have bigger fish to fry here as far as maybe some issues with his car.
Big mistake there for Iizuka in the chase position. Look at that, just smoking him up down the straight. Andrew Gray on a whole other level with that vehicle here. Completely dialed in, looking super solid. Iizuka, decent fight up until this point, but right here, he's going to wash out the front end and then go way off course there. Give a really sizable advantage to Andrew Gray, who is one of the top chase drivers in the FDJ series. So we'll see what happens as both drivers head back to the start line. We mix up the order. This gives you good perspective from start to finish. There's the mistake here by Iizuka in outer zone 3.
All right, Andrew Gray will now chase down Iizuka. You can see him pulling up to the start line. Andrew Gray is poised and ready to do battle. Kazuya now pulled up to the line. All right, the Power Vehicles chaser of Andrew Gray on Achilles radials. Iizuka in the final connection, Mark II. And here we go.
Thing really squats.
All right, yeah, I know. That car really dips. All right, there we go. Iizuka throwing it up, grabbing some handbrake. Andrew Gray tucks into the pocket, stays out of that smoke signal. Big angle there from Iizuka. Not two phases, Andrew Gray. Has the horsepower, keeps the proximity. Go ahead and ride it in. That's what I'm thinking. And Gray, look at that, just chili peppering it up, smoking those Achilles tires.
Yep, this looks like it's got Gray written all over it here.
Would you say 50 Shades of Gray?
50 Shades of Gray. Iizuka down the front straight. Pretty decent initiation here, except for a bit longer of a knee brake pull than you'd like to see. It's pretty deep into that first outer zone. There's some big angle in here. You can see almost some contact there by Gray, but he's able to avoid it. But really, it's going to come down to that mistake in outer zone 3 on the first run by Iizuka. That's going to be the key item for him, as Gray puts on the pressure towards the finish line. Slide him right.
Slide him right for Andrew Gray as he unanimously gets the win. Andrew Gray locked and loaded and gets the victory. Congratulations to Mr. Gray as he moves on. He is your defending Formula Drift Japan champion. All right, moving on. Kenji Yamanaka versus Kazuki Hayashi. So, as you said, we are now halfway through the grade 8. Local time, 3:30, well, almost 3:35. Some hardcore fans still watching back in the States and around the world. Thank you so much for watching. We are live, Okayama International Race Circuit. Hayashi out front, Yamanaka giving chase. Hayashi qualified number 2. Can he continue his success? Nice job. Oh, getting into the dirt. Yamanaka transitions past that front clip. Throwing some late on that transition. It seemed really late. Oh, Yamanaka.
He
almost got into the wall. He straightened out. So Yamanaka a bit frazzled here in that chase position, chasing down Hayashi.
Yeah, definitely not on that linear progression that we saw of Yamanaka leading up until this point. He's getting better and better by round. But Hayashi, super solid as your number 2 qualifier, showing it here. Great angle, just dancing with that line. On outer zone 1, very tight on outer zone number 2. And then you can see the little bit of the shallowing by Yamanaka again there. Just having a tough time in the chase position.
Shout out to Pat Gooden. Thanks for tuning in, buddy.
So here we go, looking at it again. There's that mistake by Yamanaka in the chase. So Hayashi sitting on a decent lead after run number 1.
Kenji Yamanaka pulling up to the line, as you said, Ryan, kind of not in line with how he has progressed throughout the day. Kenji Yamanaka. But Hayashi, pretty unstoppable. Hayashi with that 89 yesterday. Tying Kasahara, so you look at that, you got your 1 and now potentially your number 2 driver moving a step closer here. And he might be going against his D-Max teammate of Masashi Yokoi, but Yokoi has to go through Okoyo Saito. And Yamanaka will lead. Hayashi giving chase. Yamanaka straight line approach. Now turning on the smoke machine as Hayashi right there waiting in the wings. Oh, and Yamanaka makes that mistake again. That's exactly what he did on his first run. I think that's going to be all she wrote for Yamanaka. Unfortunate there for Kenji.
Yeah, it was looking pretty good up until this battle with Hayashi, but Hayashi putting the pressure on him, not only in the lead, but also in the chase here. Forcing an error from Yamanaka in the same position that he had in run number 1. Take a look at it again here. You can see Hayashi not giving him much room, even though he knows he's got an advantage. Decent job by Kenji in that first outer zone. Hayashi sticking with him here. Big angle coming out of outer zone 2, and then right there straightening out is Yamanaka. Hayashi staying in it and maintaining pressure all the way through. So good for him. Looks like he's going to be moving on into the Final 4.
Yeah, bummer for Yamanaka, but Hayashi, our number 2 qualifier, showed you exactly why. I mean, but some of these guys having difficulty when it comes to head-to-head battles, and especially on that first rear clipping zone. But Yamanaka struggling there in the pass-through, both in chase and in lead. And there it is. Kazuki Hayashi gets the victory and advances on to the Final 4. 3 drivers are already in the Final 4. One more battle left. That's Okoyo Saito versus Masashi Yokoi. Ryan, this should be an exciting one here. You know, Saito just taking out Mad Mike with debt, and Saito, and taking out Yamada. So here's Saito in the chaser. The chrome front end of the D-Max Masashi Yokoi ride. And here we go. Masashi Yokoi out front, Saito giving chase. Coming into that first rear clip. And Saito just dive bombing Yokoi, but unaffected is Yokoi. Continues through the course. Nice job by Masashi.
Yeah.
Obvious advantage to Yokoi.
That was.
Saito got a little.
He Harry carried himself.
Yeah. If I was a drifter, would you? I think
Not
you
that
would.
Harry carry.
I got Harry Carey.
No. Harikari, you know, that's when they kill themselves, basically.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he messed up really bad.
I thought you meant the famous Chicago Cubs announcer.
Well, how?
I don't know. You got crazy.
Hey.
If I was a hot dog, would you eat me? I think you would. Look at the killer's sombrero down there. He looks like a happy-go-lucky fella.
I loved Harry Carey.
Do you?
I did, yeah. He was great. It was super funny. It seemed like he was always bombed.
Because he was. Yeah. You know, again, people think.
Hi, Harry Carey. When you got a thunder from down under, gotta Loachman.
That
what
was
happened?
a good one.
Hi.
Yeah, Harry carried him.
If I was a samurai.
So, Masashi Yokoi, an obvious advantage here after Saito makes a major mistake. I mean, people think we're drunk. We should just drink anyways. Right?
There is access to
Biru?
booze here, yeah.
Biru.
One of the few things that there is access to.
All right.
Last night was like the joy of my life, going to 7-Eleven a half an hour away. I thought we were gonna die. Robbie Nishida was driving like 75 miles per hour in that van. Yeah,
And there's deer.
There's
you
deer.
Saw deer and possums
everywhere. Yeah, flying all over the place.
Yeah, and we're not far from Suicide Forest even too. All right, here we go. Saito out front. Yokoi, can he just seal it in? Oh, and Saito breaking it off. Wavering on that initiation. You saw him throw more angle at Masashi Yokoi. Man, for seeing what's going on in front of him from the start, he's kept his composure, I would say, really well. Ride it in, Ryan. Yokoi, yo boy, Masashi Yokoi.
So after that big mistake by Saito in run number 1, we were looking to see if Yokoi was going to be able to stay consistent. He was able to do that. You can see once again, Saito just gets a bit over aggressive there, trying to make up some ground. Slows down quite a bit, doesn't fill the zone. Yokoi stays in it, makes the right move, still applies pressure. Should be an easy win for him. He is our number 6 qualifier, and Hayashi is number 2. So
1, 2, 4, and 6.
Yep.
Slide him
It's
right.
always something kind of like that.
Yeah. I mean, that's why they're there, you know. Masashi Yokoi is the victor, and it's unanimous. He is moving on to the Final 4. So the Final 4 is set. Final 4 is set, right? You pumped? You feeling it? What do you got? You got Kasahara, Andrew Gray. He's been on one, and then Kazuki Hayashi against Masashi Yokoi. And those guys are D-Max, Sylvia, S15 kind of Blues Brothers.
Yeah.
The Blue Sylvia Brothers. All right, so the semifinals we are seeing, we'd like to call them the Final 4. Andrew Gray on the start line. Got some AC/DC, more AC/DC playing. So today's theme is AC/DC, not Foo Fighters like yesterday. There's Andrew Gray, poised, ready to do battle. Hot in his red glass box of emotion. What do you think? Andrew Gray going to take down? Seen Andrew Gray's driving, seen Kasahara's driving. What do you think?
I'm gonna say Gray.
You're gonna say Gray?
Yeah.
All right, I'll go Kasahara. Just to give it some impact,
some balance.
Some balance. Thank you. I would say they're both real contenders. They're driving, you know, mastercraft. They're driving strongly. Chases are good. Their lead runs are really strong.
Hi, Harry Carrier.
It's not a good haircut.
Will Ferrell's, I think, is the best.
Yeah. That's what I was quoting, was the
right.
If I was a hot dog, would you eat me? I think you would. I think if we went out to Okayama International Circuit,
all right, so, man, it is hot. These fans are hardcore. See the fans working their way. There you are. That's you. You're on the screen. Ohio Gazamas. And there we are. We're up here. Can you see? There it is. No. All right. Later. Later, dude. Beautiful day. Nice, crystal clear day. I mean, obviously clouds, but no rain. Just given the crazy seasons we've been having lately. Hashtag FD Japan. Saw Forsberg. He was up here a moment ago.
He's behind the.
Is he behind the?
Yeah, he's trying not to suffer.
Yeah. Yeah, he's in his pajamas.
What's going on?
Just go ahead and wait. They're trying to punish Andrew Gray and let him sit on the start line. All right, so we are. I don't know, Ryan. What
I want to ask, but anybody know what's happening? Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So let's get a little clarification here.
Okay.
Okay. So, excuse me, Masaki Kasahara has called a competition timeout. Let's bring Forsberg in here. Grab. You want to talk with him or no?
Yeah, you can. You want to get dark?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's not dark. It's just elaborating with the driver that is currently leading the Formula Drift World Championship. So Masaki Kasahara is up next. And up next, we have a friend of the Formula Drift family, Christopher Forsberg.
Yeah, hey, how you doing?
Yeah, good, man. I don't know if you've listened to any of our deal because you've been driving.
Yes, I have.
Have you really?
A little bit.
Yeah,
I was out there for a minute.
We've been pretty wacky and having some fun up here.
I heard, actually. I got a text asking how you guys were feeling, and apparently pretty good.
Yeah, Vaughn asked if we were drunk. Vaughn asked if we were drunk.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
I mean, it's early, but it's after 10, right?
Never hungover, for always drunk. So your experience here in Japan, you made it to 16. You just lost, but you still do lead the Formula Drift World Championship.
Yep.
Overall, your experience, first ever Formula Drift Japan.
Yeah, first time in Formula Drift Japan. Obviously been to Japan in the past, but this is my first time competing, and it was great. The drivers here are awesome. Obviously, a couple familiar faces, Matt Mike, Andrew Gray, and Yokoi. And, the competition's pretty stiff. The guys are great, and, Daigo gave me a very reliable car, and that's what I wanted. I wanted something that I could rely on to go out and learn the right-hand drive, learn the track, and just put down some laps, not to have the most insane capable car, because even if it's a better car, it's still the right-hand drive. I know I'm going to make a mistake. But with that car in particular is what I would like to call a momentum car.
Okay.
So as in, when you get going, like, you can sail it through the course, lead runs, you can get comfortable and hit all the clips and everything's good. But in the chase position, since it's a little heavy and a little underpowered, as soon as you make one correction in a tandem position, you're going to start falling back. So
It's get out of the way. Here comes Chris. All right, we'll just stick tight here. We'll wrap out with you as Kasahara throws it in. Andrew Gray give it chase. You talked about his familiar face. Here we go. Let's see if he can put it down. Kasahara going to get his way. Uses one and only competition timeout. Transitioning past the front clip. Wow, big angle from Kasahara into the gap. Oh, Kasahara uncharacteristic. He's been throwing it into the gap like that all day, but you saw him make a correction, have to counter back, but Andrew Gray hangs tough with him, and that is another signature move. Gray just showing a little bit of, you know, Harambe chest pounding there as he goes and rips past him.
That was killer, yeah. That lead run, like, he looked like he had it, but just a little too much angle, scrubbed too much speed, and tried to get back on the power and straighten out a little bit. But up until that point, it looked killer, and Andy Gray was not phased at all.
Yeah, Kasahara, I mean, he's our #1 qualifier. Look at him filling the rear zone.
Totally.
What? I mean, but he's been doing this.
Andy fell back a little bit right there, but then right here, yeah, keeps it up, keeps the angle, even though he bobbles a little bit, gets right back in the pocket. Good move by Andy.
Yeah, Andrew Gray, you know, given a good lead run, I think Andrew Gray handled it, even with that mistake too. And this is the different angle. So this is across the track. Ryan's been calling it the long view.
Yeah, no, it definitely gives a different perspective, which is nice to see. Like right here, you can see it kind of falls back a little bit, light angle there, and then here you see, you know, he straightens out a little bit, gets it back into angle, but yeah, Andy Gray not phased, gets back in it, fell back a little bit, but I like how he closed it right back in here at the final turn.
All right, so let's alternate the order here as we'll be seeing Masaki Kasahara and Andrew Gray. Andrew Gray will lead. Kasahara giving chase, want to make sure that they're centered up. Do you agree with that? We've kind of been sticklers about making it straight versus crooked.
No, it's you know, not only does it look presentable, but also it keeps it even, keeps it fair between all the different drivers.
Do you think their strategy was kind of staggering if you're at an angle?
I mean, the whole point of the chicane is to make for fair launch, fair straightaway, and get the cars into turn 1 together. So, you know, as soon as you start coming in crooked, trying to get that extra mile an hour, like you're defeating the whole purpose of the chicane. So yes, it looks presentable and it gives the better run.
All right. Yeah, on a track like New Jersey, you saw a few drivers, you know, try to do that. Vaughn was kind of dropping it in and doing it. I mean, I would say he's the most notable one.
That steep banking makes it pretty difficult.
Look at him light him up on the straight. This thing
big
is
power.
ripping. Oh no, Andrew Gray.
Oh no.
Shutting it down. Oh
Lighting
man.
him up a little too much.
Or did we get a red flag? Oh, it's a red flag.
Oh,
sweet.
red flag.
All right, cool. Well, good for them.
Yeah.
Red all over the track. We got 2 red cars, got the red flag, and we will restart them.
Yeah, I had a red flag on my first chase run in top 16, and I had that moment of like, oh, like you broke, we're good.
You're all, yeah, you're like, yeah.
Oh, red flag.
I saw you like kind of, and then you stopped.
Yeah, because in that chase position, you do not see it. So.
No. Yeah, you're gonna just keep drifting past them. Later, yeah. All right, so Gray will lead. Man, how hot is it in these cars?
It's brutal. It's actually very, very hot out here. And I mean, as you probably mentioned before, it's like 100 degrees. Definitely feels like 100 degrees.
Yeah.
And inside the car, it's pretty brutal. You know, thankfully for my power windows, I can roll them up and down, let the breeze through.
That's kind of unit of measure of your car. I'm like, FYI, he has power windows.
Oh yeah, but it also does have full carpeting and everything else, so it really soaks the heat in. And yeah, it was enjoyable. We'll just say.
Yeah, that's funny.
But yeah, no, definitely a fun car and a fun event, and you know, it's also very fun to be up here and watch some of the competition.
Right.
This doesn't happen very often.
I know you're this one-man crew. You got your helmet, got your suit, show up. I mean, none of your team from back home came with you, so it's kind of interesting. All right, here we go. Andrew Gray, line him up. Kasahara initiating in chase. Oh, a lot of dirt being thrown up. Andrew Gray locked and loaded into that first rear clipping zone. Nice job by him. Kasahara tucks in right into the smoke trail. Andrew Gray entering into the gap. Kasahara drops into formation. Nice job by Gray. Is this going to be Gray's moment to take it to the finals?
I believe so. That was killer. That was a perfect lead run. He killed all the zones. He killed it on the wall. No adjustment of the angle or anything. It looked perfect. So
take a look here again. We'll see Kasahara. He throws up dirt on the, you know, where not a lot of dudes are, right here. See that? Him goes off course. But Gray, look at settled, tucks it right onto the rumble strip.
Yep.
Kudos to Kasahara too, though. I mean, he's chasing it properly.
He's in the smoke zone. He fell back on that inner clip a little bit. On that entry, I feel like that he was just a little too mid-track, and as he flicked across, he kind of lost visual of the edge of the track because Andy Gray's car was in front of him.
Right.
And just, dropped that tire, and it just slowed him down a little bit.
All right, Kasahara or Gray. Have to assume they're going to slide him right. And There it is. Andrew Gray gets the win. Well, Chris, thank you so much for joining us, buddy.
No problem. Thanks for having me up here. It's a great view.
Yeah. No, right. Yeah. Well, go ahead, grab a drink and hang out, and congratulations to you. All right, so Andrew Gray is going to the finals.
Hey, I won.
What?
I won. Great, remember? I was voting for
Oh,
Gray.
yeah. What are you doing? Hey, guy, get off my pen. I was like, what are you, competing? Yes, you did. You did put it out there in the universe that you thought Gray was going to put together. And, yep, that happened. So these two D-Max Sylvia S15s, you tell them apart by the chrome front end of Masashi Yokoi.
All right, you want to do another bet?
Yeah, I'm saying Yokoi. I'm saying Yokoi. I think he's going to flourish. He's turning it up. So you got to go Hayashi, right?
I don't have to. I'm gonna.
No, you have to.
I'm gonna go with who I think has the most advantage overall, and I think you're right. It's Yokoi.
Yokoi. Hi.
Hi, hi.
Arigatou gozaimasu. Here we go. Hayashi leads because he qualified number 2. Masashi Yokoi qualifying 6th. Here we go. Hayashi. Look at it. He's putting it down. Yokoi's right there. These guys drive a lot together as they transition into that final rear clipping zone. Look at Yokoi. He is riding shotgun with Hayashi. Well done by Masashi Yokoi. Bless you, Ryan.
Not a lot to criticize there, Jared. A great run by both drivers. Really, the only thing that I saw from Yokoi's side was he's just not as deep into the first outer zone as Hayashi is. Watch right here. Great angle by Hayashi. Just a little bit out of the zone is Yokoi, but super close on proximity. Nice fluid transition back around. Really getting close here, closing the door. Great job by both drivers. A great lead and a great chase. Oh, what happened? You freaking out? Jared's throwing his equipment all over the place. Here it is again. You can see from that angle, just not as deep as Hayashi was in that first outer zone, but that is about it. The chase was incredible after that. It's a great lead run. It's a very, very close battle here. So any mid-level major mistakes are certainly going to be noticeable in the overall grand scheme of things here when you have a very, very close battle after run number 1 like that.
Catching a little green tea juice box here.
Becky.
Yeah?
Becky says drink juice.
Ryan, who's Becky?
That's a wife of a family member, or
right,
FD family member.
Right.
Is it good? Sugar-free?
Yeah, it's nice. Little Food Action Nippon.
I'm gonna stick to my
oolong.
The oolong.
You love oolong so tea? Love you so oolong tea. All right, here we go. Masashi Yokoi, Hayashi. Who's going to the finals? Here we go, Yokoi. Rip, rip. No, what? No, is that a red flag?
Come on, of course something weird has to happen.
What happened? What's going on here? What up, dog? What happened?
Nope.
All right, so
just great.
Yeah. So Yokoi just potentially beat himself. Yokoi having an issue and pulls off the course. What do we got? Did he smoke it? Yeah.
Well, usually known for very, very dependable vehicles, so this is kind of weird here.
What?
Yokoi.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah. No, he definitely does.
He keeps it bulletproof.
Yeah, and you could smell that. That's what Andy Yan was just saying. You could smell the gear oil. So Yokoi steps outside of his car. Oh, look, cops pulling him over. Sir, let me see your hands. All right, so they're just checking it out. Yeah, bummer.
Pretty clear.
Bummer for Masashi Yokoi.
We were both wrong.
Yeah, what? Why were we wrong? Oh, yeah. Well, I would say Yokoi's car just broke, yeah.
But the two are tied together, so.
Yeah, I know. I'm joking. Clear.
Here it is again. We're on the replay. No smoke. Nothing
Pew.
super crazy. You would think it would be mistaken for a red flag, but no red flag, and clearly now Yokoi is out of the vehicle. Car's off to the side of the road. So certainly something happened, but no do-overs there. Fortunately.
So it seems that our finals are set, and Masaki.
Ooh, Yokoi's going to be off the podium.
Yeah, Masaki Kasahara will be grabbing third based off of his qualifying, number 1. Because Andrew Gray takes him out, and he's going to the finals against Kazuki Hayashi. So Kazuki Hayashi, he heads back up the hill. There it is. It's official. Kazuki Hayashi gets the victory and advances on to the finals. Only one more battle left to go, Ryan. And Drift fans, thank you for sticking around, you hardcore fans that watched at home.
So, you've
Yes.
made it this far.
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
What's that from?
What is that from?
The Babysitters Club?
Final. Wow.
Finals here.
Never thought we'd get to this moment.
It's been a good day. I think, we've seen minimal, zaniness. I think we've seen some great driving. I think our social commentary has been profound. And Gremlins is one of your favorites.
Yep. Yeah, no, the event.
Fight Club's one of mine. Thanks for asking.
Fight Club, yeah. Good movie.
Fantastic movie.
You like Dags?
You like Diggs? That's not Fight Club. That's Snatch.
Oh, Snatch, yeah. I jumped into another Brad Pitt movie. Hello.
Hello. Ryan Sage here. You like Diggs? Yeah. If you could build a drift car, what chassis would you build? Chassis and power plant. Go.
I mean, I'd probably have to keep it, new school and do like an FRS or something.
Okay. Yeah. You mean that Toyota 86s? The SR by Toyota 86?
Yep. But if it would be old,
Power
I mean,
plant.
I definitely love Andrew Gray's setup like old.
You do?
Like, yeah, I think
You like the big sedans?
I think it's really cool. Yeah.
I'd build a Ford, or excuse me, I'd build a Ford, an FC RX-7 with a 5-liter like Coyote or like a Ford Roush engine, like Ford Performance.
I would put a lot of literal gremlins in mine and just have them run really fast. Just anytime you need more horsepower, just put a bunch of crystal meth in there, and then they're really going.
You don't feed them after midnight. You don't get them wet, but meth, they love it.
Yep.
They love it. Actually, it actually combats their whole program.
They stay focused.
Yeah,
and they give you the power output that you need.
It's Adderall for gremlins. Meth actually focuses them. Harry Carey. Hi, Harry Carey here. We're live at Okayama International Circuit. Look at the kid in the dashiki down there.
I think we kind of let it pass again. But what is happening right now? They didn't tell us anything about a commercial break.
We're holding the line right now. Holding. Now.
What's that from? That's from Braveheart.
Good hold. No. If you could only see Ryan shooting imaginary guns.
No, they're not guns. That was spears.
Oh yeah. Why is he? It's like.
Well, because all the bodies are crashing into it.
The bodies at the floor. Yo, how sick was that last Game of Thrones episode? The battle, like the
Battle of the Bastards.
Oh my God! No, the battlefield scene. with snow.
Yeah, Battle of the Bastards.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, yes. Then, yes. I didn't know the actual name of the episode, sorry.
Gotta get with it, man.
Well, I know you're, kind of a nerd like that.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was neat.
Neat. Again, neat.
I also liked when Daenerys' dragons
Oh, the dogs?
got those guys, too.
Yeah, well, how about when Homeboy got eaten by his own dogs? That was lit.
Yep.
That
Ramses.
was, yeah, Ramses. That was sick.
But I'm concerned because I'm wondering if, what's her name?
Oh.
Might be pregnant. That could,
Oh, yeah.
That could be dark, right?
It's going to get wild. What, Stranger Things, we've been talking about a lot. It seems to be the talk on the internet.
Yep.
How do you think the plot's going to go next season?
I think they've given themselves enough to work with, I think that, coughing up that little creature.
Yeah.
After
yeah,
at
that
dinner
slug thing.
gives you the
Oh, why are you ruining it if somebody doesn't watch it? You're totally. All right, so
Well, you
spoiler alert. Let's not talk about Stranger Things. I understand, but I'm just actually asking open-ended next season.
Well, then my answer will be, yeah, I'm sure it'll be great.
Okay. Yeah, I know. But mind you, we are talking about Stranger Things during Formula Drift Japan. The finals are about to begin. We didn't throw to commercial. We're in a holding pattern.
They just do not acknowledge us.
Nah.
Every now and again, they'll come over and put a little thing over here and say, hey.
No, the thing says 2 CM, which means to commercial.
Right.
And then he goes 3. And you don't know if it's 3 commercials, 30 seconds, 3 minutes, 3 hours. Yeah, now, hey, I got acknowledgement. Homeboy just pointed the AC at me. Hi, arigato. Arigatou. Ryan, the finals here. Who do you got? You going with Gray? You holding tight with Gray, or you think Hayashi's got it? Does he got Gray's number?
I think
Gray's going to take it.
I think so, too.
Yeah, I think Gray's looking dominant. Hayashi got handed, I think he got handed the victory. Unfortunately, his D-Max teammate, Yokoi, gets knocked out. But Gray seems just dialed. Smoking those chilies, hot chili peppers. Call them Achilles radials. Andrew Gray, the Scottish bloke. Was that a good Scottish accent? Scottish lad? Nah,
I don't think so.
Nah, okay.
Lantain can do a pretty good one, though.
Yeah, he can do a good one. Oh, come on! Yeah, he does like.
You do Irish good, though.
That's all my accents are terrible. All right, here we go. This is the finals, Formula Drift finals. Kazuka Hayashi and Andrew Gray. Andrew Gray, some hesitation here. Hayashi filling that rear clipping zone, transitioning past the front clip. Andrew Gray, tit for tat on the transition through the gap. Hayashi brings it to the final clip, and Andrew Gray cannot be shaken. Andrew Gray is a man possessed. Spinning out there across the finish line, that will not hurt him. Is that a 0? No, okay, gosh. I was like, I heard the joke, and I just wanted to clarify.
Well, starting off strong, both drivers here in the finals. Hayashi going up against Gray. Hayashi, a great initiation here. You can see pretty decent rate to angle, very limited use of e-brake, if any at all there. Andrew Gray, lock and toe here. Very deep into that zone for Hayashi. Maybe Gray just not as deep, but very, very minimal. Close battle so far. Wrapping around this final turn here through the smoke line is Gray, tucking that nose in one more time. Both drivers cross the finish line. We've got ourselves a little bit of a battle on hand.
A little bit, a lot of bit.
A lot of bit.
A lot of bit. Getting pitted.
Here's another look from the long view cam. Pretty similar there, mirroring effect. Gray closing it down a bit in these final few turns. So Hayashi and Gray both know what they need to do. It's going to be a very strong attempt by both guys on this second run. Final battle of the day, Jared.
The finals are upon us.
Jared, Ryan, what?
Ready to go eat again? Ryan, ready to go eat? Eat some more?
Nah.
Nah?
Not much eating. Food's pretty good though.
Yeah, food's been great. Love the.
I think today was the best lunch.
Today was a solid lunch. Here we go, the Formula Drift Finals, our second run here. Andrew Gray and Kazuka Hiyashi. Is Gray going to take it to the top? He is your defending Formula Drift Japan champion. Andrew Gray throwing it down, dropping the hammer. As Andrew Gray pass in front of the judges' tower and into the gap. Nice job by Gray bringing it around. Hiyashi hanging tough.
I don't know.
Yeah, is that enough?
You know, there's usually like that threshold that you go over in your mind when you're like, yeah, he got it. It's like I'm getting there, but I don't know. It's close. Gray burning him up down the straight. Pretty typical there. Great job into initiation. Big angle. Hayashi maybe not the best matching him on that outer zone. And Gray was a little bit closer here, but then Hayashi comes through the smoke line.
Yeah, that was sick.
Tucks the nose in. I mean, I think a case could be made for Gray. I think a case could be made, but it's very much on the margins.
Would you say it's not black, it's not white, it's gray?
Or blue.
You know, he's really found the gray area.
Yeah.
It's gone into the gray.
What do you think?
The gray castle. Gray skull.
I think Andrew Gray won it. I think he's got it.
All right, let's find out. We'll find out right now.
All right, so there's our top 3 drivers. We'll bring them down here. It's usually our customary way of doing things. And Kasahara, you can see him there off to the left. He grabs 3rd place after his #1 qualification. All right, so Ryan, we are getting word that it's not a one more time. We do have a victor.
We do have a victor, so that is why they're lining those guys up. And there's Big Kev. Tell him,
Big Kev.
Go down there. I need a Dr. Pepper. Stat. I have Pokemon to catch.
What is he? Big Kev. Yeah, by the way, he's over trying the language barrier, and he's just doing hand signals.
He's like, I've gone completely to hand signals.
Yeah. He's just defaulted to hand signals. So there's our final 3. Ryan, what do you make of the whole event here at Okayama?
You know, the first time we came here, it was cold. It snowed. It was really interesting to see a course of this caliber this far away from civilization. Now I understand its relevance and understand its importance in the series overall, because there is a feeling to this that's very similar to Road Atlanta in the sense that it's a great course. It's very fast. It's fun. Everybody can see what's going on.
Yep.
And it allows FD Japan to have 4 awesome events at 4 awesome tracks. So I'm pretty happy with it. And other than the fact that it's been very hot and humid, the competition has been amazing, and everybody here has been super awesome to work with and fun, and it's just a different vibe here. You know, you come in here having a good time, and you leave having a good time, and that's kind of cool to be able to say you do that.
Oh, for sure. And I think, you know, as far as the driving on track, minimal accidents. You know, I would say nothing too detrimental. I mean, I think the Tetsugen Chaser of Taniguchi took the biggest hit. So we'll have our local announcers, our Japanese-speaking announcers, announce the winners in the podium. So we'll pick up, we'll kind of follow their lead. They're leading it here for the fans that here at Okayama. Okayama. All right, there it is. We are seeing our top 3 gentlemen, and he will announce them. Tom Seba over there holding it down. getting our models into place, our Motor Games models.
Help me.
Those heels in the sand don't really blend well together.
Nah.
It's embarrassing. I almost wore that same outfit. That would have been really embarrassing.
That would have been pretty cool.
Yeah? Yep. You're a fan?
It'll look probably a little tight on you, but
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
might be able to squeeze it in.
Yeah. Just tuck it all in.
I think it's great. I think it's great.
You think it's great?
I think it's great. Yeah,
I
I
think
have
it's
no
great.
access to information, but
I think it's great too. Yeah, we have not found out who got the victory, but there are the two gentlemen that were in the final battle, Hayashi and Gray. And if you know what, I might post it after this. Hayashi right there, who's in the finals. I got a great video of him yesterday. I don't know why he was so bummed. I'll just tell you. I don't know why he was so bummed. I mean,
oh yeah.
yeah. So I'll post it here in a little bit. You can get a kick out of it. He was a little bummed yesterday.
He was super bummed.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll just let this happen because nobody's going to tell us what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, we're just looking at two gentlemen that were in the finals, and they're talking about what's going on here. It was close. It was this. It was that. And again, power vehicles. That's the business that Andy and his wife operate at Ebisu. You can go up there, buy a car, drift. It's quite an experience. So if you're interested and have the passion, the inspiration, the aspiration to come to Japan, contact Power Vehicles. Really cool operation there. I know our own judges, Ryan Lontaine and Andy Yen, they head out there as well. So it's really cool.
Yeah, Lontaine is going back after Okibuki.
Hi, Okiabuki.
Which should be pretty interesting.
Yeah, Okiabuki.
You know, we're staying in a dorm together.
Who?
Are you coming to that one?
I don't think so.
Coming to Okibuki?
I don't think so.
After Irwindale?
I wasn't invited yet.
I guess you won't be suffering.
All right, so round 3 of the Formula Drift Japan Championship, and the final round of. All right, Masaki Kasahara grabs 3rd place. Grabs 3rd place here as there he is. So, are we doing the 1st place, or are we doing? I'm assuming saying the winner.
I hope they do it our way.
Robbie. Is that all right? There it is, and there's your winner. Andrew Gray is your victor.
Yes, perfect music for this.
Yeah, getting some beats is Andrew Gray, Team Kazama Power Vehicles JZX 100, and yeah, Andrew Gray gets the victory.
Andrew Gray.
Yeah. Stoked. Is he crying? Is he crying? He's good. Stoked for him, man. He is your defending Formula Drift Japan champion. And there's your 2nd place finisher. Hold his head high. Kazuki Hayashi finishes 2nd. So a little bummed, a little defeated, but man, hold his head high, man. Pick it up, right? I mean, he drove great from yesterday to today. He qualified 2nd, and he finishes 2nd.
Remember that one time you messed up the...
Oh, yeah. Happened
that was here.
That was here.
Yeah, Daigo
When I
flipped you
said,
off.
yeah. It was Daigo Saito and Yokoi, and I accidentally said that Daigo won. And it was Yokoi and Daigo infamously told me I was number 1. Not with that finger that Andy's using. Congratulations, Andrew Gray. You know, a very deserving driver. Ryan, he is your defending champion. That car is just a beast. Nah, nothing.
Yeah, no, I love that. I told you I love that car. I think you know, he is definitely a very unique individual, not only in the vehicle that he builds for competition here, but just in general what he's been pursuing in his life. I mean, it's crazy. Go visit him out at Ebisu if you ever get a chance to do that. It's an awesome experience. They have a great shop and really cool. Really cool opportunity for anybody that has time or the resources to go and do that. It's certainly a pretty amazing experience.
Sweet taste of another event in the books.
ラウンド3ここ真夏の決戦岡山国際サーキット皆さんこの決勝トーナメントいかがでしたでしょうか。
Ryan, so next stop for us, Formula Drift, Texas, and then
Just
we round it out in Irwindale.
just a few weeks away. Round 7, really close championship. Literally 10 points separating 1, 2, and 3. So it's going to be very exciting every battle. Just about as exciting as Hayashi looks right now.
Yeah, Hayashi looks like a bunch of, he's making like Snapchat filter faces when
Yeah.
not doing Snapchat filters. I love it, I'm with it. He's funny, man. He, in the driver's meeting yesterday, that's where I took that video, and again, I'll post it here momentarily.
Keeps it game.
Yeah, he's gaming it up, second place. Spitting game to the ladies, too.
Yeah.
A lot of formality. He is exhausted.
Oh, man.
Cool. All right, a lot of formalities, you know, with the Japanese culture and the experience. Yeah. All right, so I believe that should be a wrap, and we'll give out some trophies over at the podium.
Well, usually how they cue that is they'll come on camera and let us sign off, but I think I'm not sure if that's going to happen or not. Okay, there's a little bit more
Yeah,
storytelling to do.
Masaki Kasahara. 20 years old.
Yeah.
20 years old. A real promising talent. Okay, so there are our final 3 cars.
Okay.
All right, so Ryan, thank you so much.
We're here buying time. She comes over and tells us to wrap it up. I love it.
Yeah, thank you so much, bud.
Had a great time. Thanks, man. It was really awesome to have you here, and glad we get to finish it out and head towards round 7. So exciting once again here at Okayama.
All right, thank you so much for joining us, Ryan Sage. I'm Jared Deenda on behalf of our whole Formula Drift staff. We'll see you in Texas. So you're watching the Formula Drift World Championship, and of course, we have another contender here. Chris Forsberg is going for it. We'll see you in Texas. See you online or see you another time.